Amy, Allie, what's going on? How's school? We're here a little late here since I got caught up in a team meeting, but I made it. So give it like 2 minutes, then we'll start up this live. How we doing, Amy? Allie, what's going on over there today? Okay. Get your nails done. Aren't you in school? What do you mean you're getting your nails done? Unbelievable. I'm gonna get banged out on the credit card here today. Unreal. And she doesn't get normal nails either. It's all custom stuff and designs and... Oh, you're done early today. All right. Well, enjoy the nails and probably the Starbucks afterwards. Oh my God. Yeah, really early. God. Not even 1 o'clock. What goes on? All right, Al. Have a good day. I'll see you after. All right. So today's live. A little late. That's all right. Oh, Taza. Nice. Enjoy, Taza. Just bye. I don't like Taza. Taza, their coffee's all right, but their iced coffee sucks. It's extremely light. I don't like it at all. It's like tasting water, in my opinion. So I don't go there anymore. Today's live. I thought of a topic here that I could elaborate a little bit more on. Amy. That came up this morning when I was addressing my networking group about their brand messaging. And what's up, Caroline? You just missed Allie. She was just here. So I mentioned to them the previous week that I'm certain that half the people in this room do not have their brand messaging in place. It's probably fragmented. It's not consistent. And they haven't truly identified their target audience. And I said, I'll make that bet and I'll win the bet because I'm confident that the majority of people in this particular room weren't paying attention to that. And I basically said, if you have no idea what I'm speaking about, you need to then have a conversation with me. Because if you do not have that messaging in place and you have no idea who you're speaking to, you're losing business. You're losing opportunities, right? It's common sense, really. You know, I could think of an example if, let's think of something really dumb. Like if you're, yeah, let's think of something dumb. Would you go to some type of vegan meetup with, you know, a stand, you set up a tent, and you're grilling up ribeyes? The best ribeyes. New York strips, ribs, sausage. Would you do that? No. Because it's not your target audience, right? It's not your target audience. So why would you do that, right? That's just a really dumb example, but it makes sense. It relates to what I'm trying to say. You're not going to market your beautiful ribs and sausage and ribeye steaks to a crowd full of vegans. You're not going to do that. I laughed when I heard this story 2 weeks ago. I was at this place downtown in Soho. Very cool place. If you ever have the opportunity, it's called the Museum of Ice Cream. And they had these ice pops in one of the stations. And a woman went to go pick up one of them. And she then turns to the staff member there and says, "Oh, by the way, are these vegan?" And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, they're not. This is an ice pop. I'm sorry, they're not." She goes, "Oh, good thing I asked." And she puts it back. I felt like saying, "Lady, what do you think? A cow is going to just appear out of this ice pop? Makes no sense. What could be possibly in the ice pop? It's a mango ice pop. Like, what do you... Like, is it going to start mooing?" Anyway, just a dumb situation, whatever. But it took me off track from the marketing point I was trying to make. You have to identify your target audience. If you're missing the mark with the target audience, you're losing opportunities. That was a real story. And like, sometimes you can't keep your mouth shut with stupidity like that, but it is what it is. Not knocking the vegans or anything like that, or anything. It's just a dumb example in my opinion, because obviously it's an ice pop. What do you think? A ribeye is going to fall out of it? So you're not going to market steaks to the vegan population at an event. You're not going to do that. Same thing when it comes to your brand messaging. Your brand messaging needs to be consistent and in line with who you're trying to target, right? Moo. As you take the bite of the ice pop, moo. Just dumb. Just really dumb. So anyway, that had to do with brand messaging and target audience, and which led me then to talking about personal branding. So I wanted to touch upon some personal branding information today, and to really kind of focus on the importance of it and why it should be a standard practice in what you do. No matter who you are, what you do, the company you work for, the position that you may have, you know, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to give you a really cool story, a success story, actually, that I'm going to, you know what? It's a friend of mine, actually, who visits here at times on the live. And I'm going to take credit. I'm going to take credit. I don't care. I'm going to take credit for this, because on his adjustment of his own personal branding, he was offered a new job with more money in a different company, new, beautiful regional position, because of what he was doing, because he was noticed. And I'm taking credit for that, and I'll tell you why, okay? I'm gonna tell you why. So, what's up, Sky? I told him the importance of personal branding and to be very active on LinkedIn. He worked for a very big company. He had a nice position, and I told him, you have to build up your own connections, your own network, because at the end of the day, no one could take that away from you. You may bounce around, switch companies, different positions, it doesn't matter. Your own Rolodex comes with you. The connections that you made, the relationships that you made, no one could ever take that away from you, no matter who you work for at that point in time. Okay? So it's important to pay attention to the personal brands. So if you have a position, if you're a sales manager, you're involved in some sort of role in a company that you can display your own knowledge and expertise, go ahead and do that, right? Take LinkedIn as an example, utilize that platform, set the stage, put out good, consistent content. Show peers, show people that you've connected with that you're an expert in this field. And how you do that is you're constantly putting out great content. You're not selling anything, you're not pitching anything, you're giving your opinion, you're sharing great information, you're sharing value, you're hopefully teaching people something. You might be sharing some things that you read, and you're creating conversation, you're creating engagement. What is that doing for you? When you're showing up every single day and you're putting out good content, you're going to be looked at as an educator, as an expert in this area. Wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. This woman knows what she's talking about. I'm learning from her. It's a simple concept, but some people don't pay attention to that. And you do that, you show up on a consistent basis, and more you're getting more engagement. But on the flip side, what you're doing, you're connecting with other people in the industry. You're shaking hands with people in the industry, people that might be relatable to you, that would make sense. Like me, I'm not afraid to connect with people that do what I do. Why not? Who cares? What do you think? They're going to steal business from me? They know I'm not looking to steal business from them. I don't give a shit about that. I'm looking to say, hey, I love what you're doing. I want to connect with you. I want to know you. I want to even have a conversation with you. You know how many conversations I had through LinkedIn for people that were, I remember the two people, actually both were in Chicago. One was a branding specialist. She did beautiful branding work, right? Another one was a copywriter. And I'm interested in what they're doing. Like, what are you working on? You do some great stuff. You're building the relationship at the end of the day, but you never know down the road what can come from it. They might actually come back to you and say, hey, listen, I'm working with this brand, but I need someone who really knows what they're doing with marketing. I need someone who could really generate leads, or who run a campaign, who knows Google. Hey, I could help you. And they know that because they've seen what I've been speaking about. Or I may call upon them for some of their work. The point is that you're building the relationships. But at the end of the day, let's make believe I'm working for a different company. I may leave that company, for an example. All those connections that I made, I still have them. I still have them because I took the time to build that. And they know me. They know who I am. They may not know my company, but they know who I am. And that's why personal branding is so important. And to get back to that success story, my friend was doing that because I laid out a blueprint for him. I told him to constantly post, put great stuff out there. And he did. He was sharing information. He was putting out articles. He was very active on LinkedIn. And you know what? He was noticed by multiple people. And he was, a couple of months ago, someone reached out to him and said they've been seeing what he's doing, they wanted to connect and whatnot, and had a few conversations. I'll leave out a lot of the details, but it led then to a meeting. And then there was an offer. I'm building out a new team. I want you to come and work for me. I think you would be perfect. There's already people on the team that know who you are because they follow you on LinkedIn. It doesn't get better than that. When you hear a story about that, it does not get better than that. So I was so happy to hear that. And I know that I had a hand in that because of a simple conversation as a friend, giving him some guidance to say, hey, listen, you should really start putting out some good content. You should really start positioning yourself as an authority in your industry. You know the product, you know the services, you know what you do. Go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and talk about it. So the power of building your personal brand, and that right there was really just the pinnacle of how something so simple and just showing up could really turn things around for you in such a positive, impactful way that it did for him. And not like he was really looking for it. He was, he was doing his thing. He was happy where he was. But he was building connections. He was building connections, and he was putting out great content, and he got noticed. So, that really, at the very least, should motivate people to just go ahead and do the same. Now, you may be very happy in the position where you are, and you're not looking to make that change. But by establishing your own credibility and by portraying yourself as an expert and an educator in your industry, people want to, again, get to know you. They want to talk with you because you're going to start building the trust because of everything that you've been putting out there. And that's powerful. And then what happens from that? People are going to want to do business with you. And then you bring that work back to the company. So we talk about building your own personal Rolodex, those connections and such. That's precisely that. That's so important because no one could ever take those relationships away from you at the end of the day. So I just thought this topic was pretty important to pay attention to, and especially referencing this success story, because really that's what it was. It resulted into a really nice position, more money, a big territory for him. There's actually some decent travel that's involved as well. But it was a good move. It was a good move for him, and he made it. So I was happy. And it never would have happened if you're on the sidelines and you're in the dark and you're not, you're a ghost. You're not contributing out there in the social platforms. In his case, it was best to use LinkedIn because of the B2B environment. For others and different industries that you might be involved in, you may want to utilize LinkedIn more, perhaps. Or if you're going to go the video route, if you're going to get involved with TikTok or something. It all depends on what you're trying to do. But as a business person, and if you're really trying to bring light to a specific topic that would make more sense on the B2B side, he chose LinkedIn, and that's what he was doing. But it just never would have happened if he didn't take that guidance and then his own initiative to make it happen, right? I could only say so much, obviously. I could lead the horse to water, but I cannot make the horse drink. Who heard of that phrase? Another Marioism. So it's a two-part process. I can give the guidance and say, hey man, I think you should do this. The other side of it is him executing and him taking the time and the initiative to do it, and he did. So I'm very happy for him. It's a great example of building up your own personal brand and creating the authority. Really, that's what it comes down to. Any questions on personal branding, please, if you have any, type them in. What you should be doing, if you have questions on that, if you have questions on, how you should go about it, like things like that. you could ask them here, or you could just send me a DM. It's fine too, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. But it really comes down to consistency and just showing up, and look to give. That's really what it comes down to. Look to just give, provide value, and you'll get noticed. You really get noticed. Ditch the pitch. That's really the other side of it. Don't look for that. Every once in a while, you could lead back to something. Maybe, hey, if you have any, you want to learn more about something, send me a message. Something more mild, I think, would be cool. But nothing. Sign up today. We have a sale going on. Nothing like that. You don't want to do that in your content, especially on a consistent basis. No one's even gonna pay attention anymore. They're just gonna move on, keep scrolling. So hopefully that was some good information, useful for you today. Something to keep in mind, and also a cool success story. Everybody likes success stories. So that's what I have today. I appreciate your time showing up today. We'll be back next week. Another topic as always, as we're now in September, which is wild. I think we hit last week, right? Was our first live in September. That's it. Summer's gone. Back in the grind. That's it. I'll see you guys next week. All right? Bye.